Hey, folks. So I'm Craig. I'm a product guy at Google. Have been involved in computing for quite some time. Worked initially on Google Compute Engine, our VM infrastructure as a service offering, and then went on to work on Kubernetes. And first off, I think every one of you is probably wondering, why is a Google product guy standing on stage at an OpenStack conference, right? Certainly I've had a lot of people ask me that question earlier. And then the second question you're asking is what is Google's secret master plan? How is this whole Kubernetes thing going to shape up? Why is Google doing what they're doing? So I figured I'd just take a moment, since I have a moment, to just tell you what the secret master plan is. Why is Google here? What are we doing? What are we trying to accomplish? And it really goes back to looking at where we've come from and where we want to go. So we are a technology company. We're an internet company. We've built some really cool technology. And we've had this history of writing letters from the future to enterprise, right? So we're like, hey, this is where you could go if you were like us. And for the most part, enterprise just didn't care. It's not that they didn't want that beautiful future, but they just had some really pragmatic problems to deal with right now. And so as we, Google, have started to look to the future, the first reality is we want to be an enterprise software company. We have to become an enterprise software company. The business opportunity is too big to give up. Don't get us wrong, we're good people, we're nice people, but no one likes enterprise money more than we do. It's just, it's a function of being a business. And so then the question is, if that's where you start, we have great technology, you have good engineers, but you are pretty behind in the market. How do you actually go about becoming a cloud provider to the enterprise? Now, one way to do that would be the way that Amazon has done it, which is you get to market first. You create this big ecosystem. You create this disruptive set of technologies. You create a very strong but closed ecosystem around what you're doing. And that's a perfectly lovely strategy if you're first to market. Unfortunately, we're not. So we have to take a different approach. Our approach has to be grounded in our strengths and has to be fundamentally different to what someone else might do. And it also needs to be well aligned with our values, with how Google looks at the world, how we think about things, how we like to actually operate. And at the heart of that is open. Google is by far the most sort of open company I've certainly ever worked at. And it has been hugely committed to open source software since the dawn of time. So you can look at our strategy as being grounded in this idea of being an open community. The second anchor point around our strategy is a realization that very few of our customers want to be in a single vendor relationship. Almost every enterprise I've come to says, you will pry my data centers out of my cold, dead hands. So we need to be in a situation where we can support folks on-premise, we can support them in the cloud, and we can support them across multi-clouds. And so that led us to the third realization, which is building in the open creates more powerful software. Building in the open creates better software, and it creates software that's much more rapidly adopted. And we have absolutely embraced the idea that we are not going to be able to engage enterprises and sell on-premises software. It's just not in our DNA and not in our model. And so we need partnerships. We need a strong and vital partner ecosystem to do this. So when you piece all these things together and you look at our strategy is about helping meet enterprises where they are, participating in the transformation of their IT, as someone they can trust and actually work with directly in these open source projects, but recognizing that we can't go it alone. We have to have a strong ecosystem of partners. We have to have partners like Red Hat, who actually contribute about 25% of the code of Kubernetes. We need to have partners like CoreOS that actually provide a lot of the fundamental building blocks. We need partners like Mirantis that are getting spun up right now and actually making huge inroads into a lot of our bug debt and just doing some of the hard and glamorous work that really needs to be done in these communities. And beyond that, we need a really broad ecosystem of partners that can take this technology, take it on-prem, and help enterprises actually move through this disruptive ways. And at the end of the day, our hope is that you, the sort of enterprise, or you, the customer, will be able to pick your cloud purely on its technical merits. You should not be locked into one provider. You should not be forced to pick between on-premises and hosted. And you should be able to participate in the development of the software that you're building your business on. And so that's our sort of secret strategy. There's not a lot of nothing sinister in there. It's literally just, this is the best way to build software, and this is the only way that we see ourselves being truly relevant to the enterprise. And so we're 100% committed to open, and I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the wonderful companies that have been contributing tirelessly to this project, and look to a bright future with all you all. So thank you.